Some call it the City of Gold. Locals call it Igoli. The same name, the same meaning. But there's another name whispered by security guards, taxi drivers, and cops on the night shift. The most dangerous city on the continent. In the next 10 minutes, you're going to meet hijackers who plan heists like military operations, a cult that turned a quiet town into a graveyard, and a fugitive who faked his own death, twice. This is Joburg, and this is insane. To understand why Johannesburg keeps showing up on most dangerous cities in the world lists, you have to understand what it actually is. A gold rush town that never stopped rushing. Founded in 1886, after gold was discovered on the Witwatersrand, it grew overnight into a city of miners, migrants, and money, and the inequality that came with it never fully went away. But here's the twist most true crime videos leave out. For the average tourist walking through Sandton or Rosebank, the risk looks nothing like the headlines. The violence is real, but it's concentrated. Hijackings, armed robbery, and gang violence cluster hard in specific neighborhoods, while the same city hosts five-star hotels, world-class restaurants, and some of Africa's most important history, from Constitution Hill to the Apartheid Museum. So which Joburg is the real one? Both. And that contradiction is exactly why this city has become a magnet for true crime storytellers. Let's talk about the crime Joburg is most infamous for. Hijacking. This isn't smash-and-grab opportunism. In many cases, it's organized, syndicate-run, and disturbingly efficient. Scouts identify targets, spotters track routes, crews intercept vehicles at intersections, off-ramps, or driveways, sometimes within seconds. Locals have adapted their entire driving culture around this, rolling through red lights at night when it's safe to do so, keeping distance from the car ahead at intersections, avoiding certain on-ramps after dark. It's not paranoia, it's folk knowledge passed down like survival instructions. And the wildest part? Some hijacking syndicates have been linked to cross-border operations, moving stolen luxury vehicles out of South Africa within hours, headed for buyers in neighboring countries. It's not just crime, it's logistics. Now here's the case that turned global heads and became a Netflix-style documentary sensation. The Krugersdorp cult killings, nicknamed Devilsdorp. Between 2021 and 2022, police uncovered a string of murders on the West Rand, just outside Johannesburg, linked to a self-styled prophet who convinced followers that certain acts of violence were divine instruction. Investigators eventually connected the group to dozens of deaths across the region, one of the most disturbing cult-related cases South Africa has ever documented. What makes this case so unsettling isn't just the body count, it's how ordinary the beginning looked. A community prayer group, a charismatic leader, followers who trusted him completely. That's the pattern true crime fans recognize from cult cases worldwide, and Joburg's version is one of the most extreme. Behind every name in this case is a real family still living with what happened. We're covering this because the story matters, not to sensationalize the victims. If Hollywood pitched this next story as fiction, studios would reject it as too unbelievable. Meet the case that dominated South African headlines and went viral worldwide. The escape of convicted killer Thabo Bester. In 2022, Bester, serving a life sentence, was reported dead in a prison cell fire. Case closed. Except it wasn't. Months later, investigators discovered the body in that cell wasn't his. Bester had allegedly staged his own death and walked out of one of South Africa's high-security prisons. The case exploded into a national scandal, implicating prison officials, raising questions about corruption, and turning into one of the most talked-about true crime sagas in South African history. It had everything: a fake death, an international manhunt, and a conspiracy that reached into the prison system itself. So is Johannesburg insane? In some ways, yes. The scale of organized crime, the boldness of the syndicates, the sheer number of headline-worthy cases for a single city. But it's also a city of 6 million people who go to work, raise families, and build businesses every single day, under conditions most of the world never has to think about. True crime isn't about fear for its own sake. It's about understanding how crime actually works. The systems, the syndicates, the psychology. So we walk away smarter, not just scared. If this pulled you in, you'll want to see what's coming next. Because Joburg isn't even close to the most extreme case on our list. Subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next one.